So we've kind of started wanting to put some content out there and just kind of see how it goes. Mainly for me and him, we just enjoy this kind of work so much, and we just kind of want to put some information out there, stuff to watch, you know, mainly for us to enjoy, and maybe it'll take off and you guys enjoy our content. But today what we're going to be doing right here, I've got a 562. Everybody knows this saw pretty well, I feel like. And what Tripp's got right here is a 564. This is the new unreleased chainsaw from Husqvarna, and what we're going to do is be doing some tests for you guys today. So let's get into it.
All right, fellas. So I bored both these saws in to this round right here, just to kind of get the differences of the 562 and the new 564. All right, so I got both the covers popped off. That's kind of where, in my opinion, there's more differences, which I'll take you through basically everything, but we'll get into that. So the first thing you'll notice when you bust this cover off is, goodness gracious, the 562 air cleaner style is different than the new saw is. So the exciting thing about this to me is it almost looks like Husqvarna is gearing up to have you cut a hole in this top cover here for an air cleaner mod. You don't see that very often on a Husky. That's kind of more of a steel thing. I know West Coast Saw kind of offers that, but if you can see what I'm seeing, it kind of makes sense, right? So that's the first thing I noticed. The second thing is this gravity cast cylinder. The 562 doesn't have that, so that's a big difference. You can see here the exhaust is way different. Also, you can see how the 562 obviously has a choke lever. This doesn't. This is chokeless auto tune. Like I was saying, this auto tune is almost very related to like the 592, like Mark III auto tune, kind of chokeless kind of vibe. Which, yeah, this is chokeless. Here, come over here. Let's look at this. This also shares kind of like the 592 suspension system. Like you can see how this spring is upright and kind of more beefier than this, which the 5 Series, I mean, has good suspension, so I'm fine with either one. But basically, I mean, they kind of put beefy stuff on this, kind of similar to the 592, which is cool. So the next thing you'll notice is this new saw, the 564, has no decomp lever. Like you can see it on the 62 right here. So that's missing on this, which, in my opinion, I mean, nobody really uses that. They probably realize that. That's probably why it's missing. Unless you're 83 years old and then you need that for a 60cc saw, I guess. But basically, unveiling this, I mean, it almost looks like they put a lot of 592, you know, inspired stuff on this rig. So, which is cool. I mean, should give you some longevity if they got stuff like that on it, because all that stuff on that 92 is pretty beefed up. I'd say that's pretty impressive for a 62cc saw with a 28 on it. For example, the 562, in my opinion, won't, I mean, it's not even worth putting a 28 on most of the time. You know, it's fairly underpowered. So that kind of showcases how much more torque this thing has. That's kind of what I've noticed over the past week running this thing. It's got loads more torque. Like boring into something, I mean, it just eats through it. So I've been pretty happy with the 28 on it, but we're about to put the 32 on right quick, and we'll see how that compares. Because honestly, if this thing will run a 32, I mean, that changes the game a lot. Because generally we run a 32-inch bar on the 390. So, I mean, that's a 90cc saw compared to a 62cc saw. I mean, if this will pull that, I mean, that, like I said, that just changes the game. This thing is significantly lighter than the 390. So packing it around the woods, up in a tree, doing blocks, negative rigging for the climber, I mean, that's going to be a huge impact to the game if this will do that. So we'll see here in a second how it does. So another thing we almost forgot about, we didn't realize it until we took this clutch cover off. This saw has shanked bar nuts. So they're still captured just like the 62, but this is, I mean, another point out of the 592 book right here. The big 5 series saw, even the 585 professional has these. So that's pretty cool. Everything else in here, I mean, looks basically the same as a 562. Oiling system's the same. Clutch is still outboard, not inboard. So basically the same thing as far as that's concerned. So we're gonna throw this 32-inch bar on right here, and we'll see what she's talking about here in a second. Inch bar on, tell us about it, Jackson.
I mean, honestly, even with this light 32-inch bar, this saw still feels very balanced. It's very light. Like I said, we did have a 24-inch regular bar on this saw, and honestly, it felt really heavy. So this light bar is a very good combo for this saw. I mean, you can see naturally it barely wants to dip down. So we have run it with that 28 a good bit. We'll probably put a few clips of that in. Also, we were cutting some pretty good sized pine with it and boring. This is going to be our test with the 32-inch bar, so we'll see if she's got what it takes.
Give us your first impressions on that.
Well, as you guys just saw, I mean, we didn't have exactly a 32-inch log to take the whole bar, but honestly, it didn't matter. I did feel like, you know, if you start maneuvering the saw a little bit, as you get chips in there, it may try to bog a little, but it's very comparable to a 572 with a 32-inch bar on it. Obviously, that's a little bit big for a bar on a 72, but a 72 still runs this bar very well. And honestly, I would almost say that this runs this bar better than a 72, or very close, maybe just a hair better.
So as you guys heard, I didn't even know he was gonna say that. And I'm surprised, you know, I still got to get my hands on it for sure to make sure for myself, but a 572 is probably my favorite saw to run. And I think it totes a 32 pretty good. But that's actually nuts that Jackson is saying that it'll do that better than a 72.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
As far as comparing this to a 62 would have never done that right there. It would, but it would not be good. So this saw is way more than a 62 as far as torque and horsepower. It's just got that little bit more that just gets it in that 72 range, honestly, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, you saw it right there. Saw it.
Got this piece of oak here, and we're gonna do like kind of like a simulation of boring into a tree. We haven't got to cut much hardwood with this saw, but we're gonna try it on this oak log right here. So go ahead and give that a rip right quick. That's pretty impressive looking. I don't know what y'all are seeing, but...
And right there, while I was boring, I was pushing just about as hard as I could on this saw to see if we could get any bog out of it, and really, it just did not care. I mean, you saw right there, it didn't even give a fuss. So, this is very impressive. This is some stuff that, you know, I was excited to try and figure out. Maybe we'll just go ahead and get crazy and put a 36 on it and see what it'll do.
It might do it, I don't know. This saw has been breathtaking so far. Me and him were talking off camera about this could be the new do-it-all chainsaw. In both of our opinions before we got this saw, we thought that the 572 was the all-around do-it saw. But I mean, this, dude, this thing is super impressive.
72, like we talked about, would run a 32-inch bar very well. You can put a 28 on it and it's not going to care. You know, worst case, if I were to go out and buy one saw, that would usually be a 72, because you can do so many things with it. But now this, I mean, this right here, as far as weight savings compared to a 72, it's a lot. It's very noticeable in the hands, like I said, especially with a light bar on it. It's a very lightweight saw for the power and the performance that you get out of it with a 32-inch bar or smaller. You know, I mean, the smaller you go, the better performance you're going to get out of the saw, obviously. But that right there is very, very good result right there. So this was the week-and-a-half version of our review. Maybe we'll come back in a later term, maybe 6 months. Maybe we'll come back whenever the saw is released to you guys to kind of give more people insight on whether this is a good buy or not. I think it is, honestly. I mean, I'm probably going to throw my 562s in the dumpster after this video. But yeah, I'm curious to see the longevity. I'm sure you guys are curious to see that as well. So thanks for watching. We'll be back again.